वेलकम फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल गुरुज एस्ट्रो पामिस्ट्री। आज मैं एक हाथ का एनालिसिस करूँगा, लेकिन इनको हिंदी नहीं आती और उर्दू नहीं आती, तो मैं इस हाथ को इंग्लिश में एनालाइज करूँगा। इस पाम को पूरी तरह इंग्लिश में एनालाइज करूँगा। तो आपको जिनको इंग्लिश नहीं समझ में आती, आई एम सॉरी, आई कैन नॉट हेल्प यू. So let's get into the palm. Now see, the analysis part of this palm, I would not go too deep into this palm because I've already given the predictive part of this palm to the person. Here I just want to have a quick overview of the palm because there are some things which I felt I should kind of elaborate in this palm. The palm, you can see, is rectangular, right? It is rectangular in its shape is rectangular with the fingers are long. This shows it belongs to the water type of hand. A water hand sometimes, tends to be very emotional, very charged up, very emotional, very demanding, very changeable. So such a person has probably, got mood swings. It's my way or the highway kind of person, and if you now look at, let me just show you. If you just look at this part of the hand, look at this, the heart line, it's straight. Heart line is straight. That means it is reaching the mount of Jupiter. That means the person is idealist. She would not yield. She wants it the way she wants it. She's not going to change. Demanding kind of person, so, and the heart line is straight. Generally the heart line has to have a small bend, that bend is missing in this. So lack of this bending creates lack of flexibility. I'm sure you got it. So the other part which I feel is that the little islands on this heart line, these islands create emotional instability in the mind, which means the person will not try to understand the spouse, what he or she wants. There will always be some conflicts, whatever be the case. This is very common with these kind of hands. I've seen this in many palms, so it's very common with this. And of course, with a lot of meditation and a lot of other things, it can change. You can also see that there is this, let me just put it across. There is this formation near the Saturn Mount. There is this formation near the Saturn Mount. You can see that there are these squares here. These squares actually again show the same thing. The person whom she loves will have to go through a hell, meaning there would be a lot of kind of disappointments emotionally. This, I don't want to go more into it, but emotionally there will be a lot of trouble because any squarish kind of formation in and above the heartline near the Saturn Mount creates this kind of thing. I also want to show you a few more things here. Just a moment, let me just clear this out because I just want to be quick with this, and I've already given her a lot of predictions. So look, you can see the hair-like structures on the headline, on the lifeline. This and a little bit of these islandish kind of things. This shows nervous temperament, nervous debility, debilitation of the nerves later in life. Also, it also shows general weakening of the health. However, as per the Hindu palmistry and Vedic palmistry, you can call it Vedic palmistry, these defects, though present in the hand, may not give that much trouble to the person because she has a sign which is considered very auspicious in the Hindu palmistry, and that is the sign of Matsya. Matsya means fish. It is a fish sign which is considered to be very, very auspicious for any person to have on the lifeline. What it does basically is that all these weaknesses in the hand now can be reduced with this one sign. So around 60 to 70% of the defects in the hand can be counterbalanced with this fish sign, or matsya. Matsya means fish. So that is something which is good in this palm. Yeah, but the person has to overcome, a lot of nervous temperament problems, right? So we will go into the palm chart later. The headline is very good. There is a fork. It shows person can think innovatively. Yes, there are thought processes going randomly here and there. Those things do occur quite a lot of times. You can see the hump here of Mars, again demanding, again very demanding. So it does create some kind of conflict situations, especially with the spouse. However, they can be resolved. It's not a big deal. You have to keep a positive mindset. You can see the thumb is bending, and it's a very positive sign, because the heart line, which is straight, and the thumb, which is bending, sometimes they are balancing each other out, which is very good, thank God. So this is a positive sign. You can also see that the moon mount is slightly displaced towards the Mars, and the headline is thinning out, right? You can see that. I'll show you again. The moon mount is more prominent towards this part, and the headline starts to thin out. You can see that, the thinning head. What does that mean? I'll explain that in a while. With these, I can make the palm chart. Also, I want your attention on this particular, let me just delete this, on the fate line. Look at this fate line. Look at this. Do you see this? This kind of fate line is actually not desirable, and it starts from the moon. Therefore, the person will be in public kind of jobs and would love traveling later in life. Maybe not now, or would have traveled, either of it. Either would have been in a foreign country before and would have come back, or would travel as a part of his job, or would be in public kind of a domain where there's a lot of interaction with the public. But look, the weakness of this fate line is again balanced by this sister line. So what happens is, whatever weaknesses this fate line has have been covered with this sister line. So that is again a very notable feature. So what you can see in this palm is something where you have some defects, let's say these ones, and then again a balance. You have these defects and then a balance. You have very rare hand, to find. Such hands are very rare to find. So that's why I thought maybe I should just quickly do a video on this palm. However, the fate line becomes very strong. You can see here, and then there we go. So the fate line becomes stronger. There is a sister line again. So around 29 onwards, the person would start gaining strength as far as the fate or the money line is concerned. The Shukra or the Venus mount is very good. It's very, very good, which means the money will not be a problem. Money flow will be quite decent. That is really good in this palm, no doubt. And you can see that the person has got a sun mount. Although there are hairy like structures, some kind of waveriness is there, but it is a good sun mount. The Mercury mount is also well developed, with a very strong Mercury finger reaching almost the first phalange. Very good formation. The Saturn finger is slightly tilted towards the sun mount, so it starts to grab the qualities from here and there, right? It's fine. This is also little bit tilted, shows that the person has got ego problems. The person has got ego problems. He needs to be pampered. He needs to be propped up every now and then, otherwise things would be difficult, right? But let me go into the palm chart now, because I'm going fast. I've already given predictions, as I told you. I'm going to go into the palm chart. Let me see if I can get that here. Just a moment. Yeah, the palm chart of this hand. Let me see if I can. Yeah, this is a palm chart. Sorry, I was not able to get it. So the palm chart I have made here is this. This palm chart is actually showing here Moon, Mars and Saturn. Mars, Moon and Saturn. I've made Mars as the first point, moon second, and Saturn, because that's how the palm is designed. The design of the palm by God is this way, so I can't help it. It is like that. What does this mean? Let's see in terms of Vedic palmistry what this means. The Mars actually represents the spouse. The Saturn represents the person who is the female, her elder brother. Mars and Saturn are enemies. This is what the Hindu astrology says. Well, it is disputable. Mars is the spouse, Saturn is the elder brother of the person in question here, whose hand is being analyzed. But the moon stands in between. Moon is generally mother. What I'm trying to tell you here is that the Mars is being opposed by the Saturn, or the Saturn is opposing the Mars, whichever way you want to take it. But the balance is achieved by moon, the mother. Okay, so my only question is, if the relationship, whichever there is or there is bound to be, needs to have a strong moon, either the mother or mother-in-law, otherwise it's going to be a problem. Now the Venus is looking at the Mars, which means the marriage is by free will. That means it could be a love marriage, it could be something which the woman or the female would decide to go for, to choose, right? So this is something from this particular chart which I have analyzed. The other thing, again look at it from a different dimension. The person's profession depends on Mars and moon and is linked to Venus. Now let's see what that means. The profession part is the Saturn line. Saturn line has got an influence of Mars and moon and Venus. In ancient Hindu astrology, Venus represents medicines. Dhanvantri means doctor or medical professional. Dhanvantri. So Saturn in your hand, in this person's hand, aspects Venus, which is Dhanvantri. Dhanvantri means medicinal, or Vaidya means doctor, you can say, okay, whatever you want to say. Saturn aspects Mars is engineering. Mars means skill. Mars means tools. Mars means working with tools, or kind of skill kind of thing. So is the medical tools. Moon represents water, white color, anything related to white, water, watery stuff, saliva, whatever. So the profession would somewhere be linked to medicine. It could also be use of a lot of hand skills, equipments, machinery, or whatever, and it would be linked to something which has got a lot of water. Very difficult, because the ancient astrological interpretations were so vague. It's so difficult to interpret it in this modern 21st century, but you can make out, you can realize, you can think about it, you can work on it, right? So this is what it means. I've given you both the aspects. Okay, I'm going to give you the third aspect as well within this video. Other thing is that the Rahu is trying to gobble up Mars and Moon. That is the reason why I said the person has to keep a balance. Rahu is trying to create trouble. You have to keep a balance, because it is trying to gobble up your Mars, which is your spouse. It's trying to trouble your moon. So the mother will keep on telling, okay, no, relax, blah blah blah. This guy, and the Rahu is always the trouble creator in this case. Rahu is a friend of Saturn, you see. So whoever is troubling Mars would always be helped by Rahu. So you have to understand this in a very vague manner, but something which you need to understand. Now I would always recommend the person whose hand I'm analyzing, the Jupiter here is combust. Anytime, anywhere, any palm, any chart, wherever you find Jupiter combust, it means that there is a lack of balance. And when you come for a palmistry analysis or an advice from an astrologer or astropalmist, the first thing I would advise you is to keep a balance. Don't lose your balance. You have to be accommodating. You have to be accommodating from your side if you really want any kind of marriage or any kind of relationship to prosper. Number one. Number two, try to listen to people. Sometimes they do give good advice, although this guy is going to keep on telling you no, no, no in your mind. However, listen to people. Sometimes they do give good advice, right? So this is something very clear from the palm chart. I also want to tell this person that, the spouse also has got, from the perspective, from the different dimension, the spouse has got an influence of moon and Saturn. So the person would have a fickle mind, would be emotional because of the moon, and fickle mind because of the Saturn. There is always a conflict of interest within the brain, right, in the mind. So you have to understand it in this way. Okay, so that is what this one shows. Let's go back to the palm now. I don't have much of it because I've already told you a lot of things. I won't give you the predictions here. I just want to quickly tell you a few more things. Is that you have a bright future. You do have a bright future. You may have to travel a lot later in later part, right? So even though you may or may not like it, but you will have to travel. You basically don't want to work really hard. You want to get things very quickly. So this is also because those who have thin lines, they always want to get work done without too much of hard work, right? So that is something evident from the palm, and I think that's something which I wanted to convey with this palm. The rest of it is already being told to you. So thank you very much for watching this palm. If you do have any questions, if anybody wants to analyze his or her palm, do send it to me. Please note, I get 10 to 15 palms every day. It's not easy, and I'm doing this free. So sometimes I may miss out some points, so I can't help it because there are just too many people who are asking me to do this analysis these days. So bear with me. Whatever I can, I'll try to help you. I won't try to misguide you. At least if you want to take my advice, you can take it. Otherwise, it's fine. It's up to you. Thank you very much. If you like what I'm talking about, subscribe to my channel. If you want your palm to be analyzed, just send me an email. I have the email address given in the channel. And good luck to this person, and good luck to everyone. Thank you very much.